Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing things just a little bit differently because I'm actually not focusing on my dolls as much as I'm focusing on characters, because today I am ranking my top 25 Monster High characters for you. Now that might sound kind of like a lot, but there's actually a lot more than that because I actually went through and ranked all 119 of the characters that I thought were rankable, like that there was enough information about them to put them in kind of a definitive ranking. But maybe sometime I'll do a full video on that, on like the entire ranking, but that day is not today. Today I'm just gonna give you the top 25. The way that I ranked these, I did it based mainly on their personality and how they're portrayed in like the webisodes and the movies, but some I can't lie, some of their like their dolls and their aesthetic kind of played into that too, but the main like deciding factor was their personality. So let's get started. Oh, I also, one other thing, I don't have dolls of every single one of these characters, so for those I'll just like tell you about them, but I'm gonna show you like my favorite doll that I have, or one of the dolls that I have of the ones that I do have dolls for that character, if that makes sense. I'm just confusing myself. But let's just go ahead and get started. So number 25 is Holt Hyde. I unfortunately don't have a doll of him. He is a little bit too rare and a little too expensive for my budget. So, but I really wish I could have a doll of him. He is the son of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And he's just like super funny. He's the Hyde side, obviously. And so his like other half or whatever, Jackson Jekyll, Holt Hyde only comes out when Jackson hears music, and then he turns into Holt. And I just think Holt is like hilarious, and he's just so wild, and like he always had this thing for Frankenstein, and it's just, the storyline with that is just really entertaining. And he's probably, I think according to my rankings, he's like the 5th or 6th favorite guy character. I'm not quite sure, but somewhere in there. But yeah, he's just it's a pretty entertaining character. So we will move on now to number 24, which I actually do have a doll, and that is River Styx. She is the daughter of the Grim Reaper, and I just love her because she is like, her personality, she is so like lighthearted and bubbly and fun. And I do have to admit, some of her aesthetic probably went into me making this decision, because like I just love, like, her hair is like cotton candy colored, and I just love that, and she just has the cutest look. But I mean, I just love her character too. She was in the movie Haunted, and she had like this ghost fairy or whatever that kind of could travel between the worlds. I think it was something like that. But she's just super bubbly, and I just love her character. But yeah, okay, so we're gonna move on now to number 23, which is Porter Geist, who I unfortunately also don't have a doll of. He was the main boy character in the movie Haunted, like I was just talking about with River. And what I really like about him, he is the son of a poltergeist. And I just love, he is like the troublemaker. He's kind of like the bad boy. And I just really love how they brought him into the story, and also his relationship with Spectra in there. And I'm still hoping to get a doll of him, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, number 22. Now this is one that most of you are probably going to disagree with me on. But number 22 is Frankenstein. Now, I know most of you probably would rank her a lot higher than 22, and 22 sounds awful, I know, but when you rank 119 characters, it really isn't awful. It's actually a really good spot. And the reason she's lower, like for a main character, the reason that she is lower down is just because she kind of, I don't know, she has kind of this tendency to be kind of naive and just a little bit like too optimistic. And I don't know, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being optimistic, but like it just gets a touch obnoxious. But like she redeems herself in the fact that like I absolutely love her dolls, which I know that's not the main determining factor, hence why she's a little lower. But and they're like, ultimately there wouldn't be a Monster High without Frankie. So I mean, she redeems herself. It's just, I just don't like her as well as some of the other main characters. But that's just my opinion. We're gonna move on now to number 21, which is Invisibility. I actually do have an Invisibility doll. I just absolutely love him. He is the son of the Invisible Man, and his character is just so like sweet, and he's kind of like a wallflower, but he's just such a sweet character, and like I love his design too, which I know that that's not the main thing, but I just love the way he's designed, and I think that he deserved more screen time because he really wasn't like, he was just kind of in the background most of the time. I think he was featured prominently in like one webisode is all, which I mean, his character development in that was just amazing. Like, he was so sweet. But I just wish that he would have gotten more screen time because that would have just really helped him develop as a character, and he might be even higher on this list, but 21 is pretty high. So then number 20 is Scara Screams. I unfortunately do not have a Scara Screams doll. She is the daughter of a banshee, and I also think this is one of those characters that definitely could have been featured more because she was just super cool with, like, she has like telepathic powers, and she really just could have been a main character, and she could have been like awesome, but she was only featured like a couple times, and so I just really wish we could see more of her. But she's just super cool. Number 19, I actually do have a doll. I just got him recently, and that is Heath Burns. Now, I just love his character because he is so hilarious, and he's always like getting into trouble. Like, not bad trouble, but like he's just always like burning things because he's like the son of the fire elementals. So he just is constantly like in trouble, and I think that's hilarious. And I also love his relationship with Abby because they're not like an official couple, I don't think, in the Monster High world or whatever, but they like just have such good chemistry together, and like they're fire and ice, and I just think that's so cute. But also just the fact that like Abby, like, she's such a gorgeous, like, she's one of the most like the prettiest characters, and she could have like any of the guys. And like there was this one webisode where they were doing like a speed dating thing, and she just wanted Heath because he made her laugh all the time, and I think that's so cute. Like, I just love that. It's kind of like a friends to something more type of thing. I don't know. I just think it's cute. But anyway, moving on to number 18 is Johnny Spirit. Now, he was not released as a doll ever, and that makes me so upset because he's barely even featured, but I just absolutely love his aesthetic. Like, you should just go Google Johnny Spirit. Like, he just has this like bad boy vibe to him, and he was like in trouble. I think that he has like one webisode that tells his story, and that's where like it talks about how he was like, I think he was in prison, maybe, I don't know, I can't remember for sure like the story behind that. But I really wish he was featured more because he would be so cool. Like, it would be so cool to learn more about his character and to have a doll of him. Like, I just really want a doll of him. So maybe, I don't know, if Monster High ever makes a comeback, maybe they'll make a Johnny Spirit doll. But until then, we're just gonna have to settle with having him in the webisodes. So number 17, I actually have, and that is Miss Howleen Wolf. Now, she is the younger sister of Claudine, which is the arguably more popular of the werewolf clan. And I love Howleen for like multiple reasons. One, I do love her aesthetic. Like, I do love her pink hair and all that stuff. But I also just love her character because she does get like into fights with her sister a lot and stuff, but she just always feels constantly like overshadowed by her. And she honestly is a really sweet character deep down though. And she always, like, she was featured prominently in the 13 Wishes movie, and her main thing is she just wanted to be popular and she wanted to be liked. And I can identify with that. Like, back when when I got this doll, I was in maybe, like 7th or 8th grade, I think. And I was not, like, a popular kid back then. I mean, I don't really ever consider myself as being someone popular. And, like, back then, I was really, like, focused on, I wanted people to like me, and I wanted to, make sure that I did everything just right so that I could get people to like me. But ultimately, you just have to be comfortable with being yourself. And I think that is the lesson also that Howleen learns at the end of that movie. but I just like I can relate with the way that she felt, and like it's hard. Like, I mean, yeah, obviously you can just be yourself, and that's what matters, but that's a lot easier said than done, because when you feel like nobody likes you, you feel like nobody likes you. And like there's just nothing, you just want that like validation. And so I totally understand where she was coming from and all that. But anyway, don't want to talk too much on her. So we're going to go to number 16, which is Venus McFlytrap, and I also have her. Um, I just really love her because she's the daughter of the plant monster, and she just gives me major Avril Lavigne vibes. Like, just I think it's just her hair. I don't know, but she just reminds me a lot of Avril Lavigne, and I just absolutely love her. So that's probably one of the main reasons why I like her. But the one thing that I do have to say about Venus is she's very like she's an environmentalist, and she's constantly like throughout the series she's constantly pushing for people to recycle and all that, and that's great. But I feel like we don't really get as much of like character development besides that. Like, if you ask anybody about the character Venus, the first thing anyone is going to say is that she is all about recycling. And like she has these like pollens of persuasion where she uses on people to try to get them to recycle. And I just feel like they could have developed her a little bit more, because she just doesn't really get, like, I don't know, she just doesn't get many other personality traits other than that. I feel like maybe in like one of the book series is series she kind of gets developed a little bit more, but like I don't know, she just never gets like the development that like other characters get. But maybe that's just my opinion. I don't know. But we're gonna move on to number 15, which is Rebecca Steen, and I have her as well. And she is just so cute. I love her aesthetic for one thing, but I also just love her character because she is like the sweetest. She is the daughter of a mad scientist. She was built because she's a robot, and she was like in this ultimate roller maze, and she fell apart when she was doing that, and then Ghoulia put her back together. And I just think that is just such a creative storyline. And she's such a sweet character, and she's just so caring, and I just love her. She's the sweetest. So that was number 15. Yes, yes. So then number 14 is Laguna Blue, and she is just also such a sweetheart. I love her aesthetic, but also she is just like she's one of the ghouls that is like mainly known for like caring about her friends, and she always is like making sacrifices for them and always doing what's best for them. And she's Australian, which I also love because I just love Australian accents. And she's the daughter of the sea monster, and she just is constantly doing whatever she can to help her friends, to help the environment, to help animals. Like, there's one webisode where she frees all the frogs in the lab before they dissect them, which I think is hilarious. And she just is like the most kind-hearted character there possibly could be, and I just think that's the sweetest thing. And yeah, I just love Laguna. So number 13 is Deuce Gorgon. He is my favorite of the guys just because he's the son of Medusa, and I love that he's got like his little he lost his shades. Good thing we're not in the show, or everybody would have been turned to stone. But well, he doesn't have his shades anymore, so you get to look at his snake eyes, which I think are absolutely adorable. And I also just love his snakes for hair too. And he's just so cute. I love his style. He's got like a skater boy style going on. And I love that. And I love his relationship with Cleo. Like, they are just absolutely 100% relationship goals. And they're the main relationship. They've been there since the beginning, and I just love that. Now moving on to number 12. Alright, so number 12 is Ghoulia Yelps. And I obviously have a Ghoulia doll. She was actually, her glasses are just a little bit messed up. She was actually the 4th Monster High doll I ever got. and I actually didn't know her character existed until I saw her in Walmart. And I just think that's kind of funny because I had gone in there with the intention of buying the basic Draculaura, and I saw this doll. I had a really hard time deciding which one I actually wanted to buy because this doll just really, really stuck out to me. And absolutely love her character. Her glasses are still a little crooked, but that's the best I can do. But I just love her character because she is she's like the brainiac. She's the daughter of the zombies, so she's kind of slow. She doesn't talk, she just moans. And so she often gets like just kind of cast aside and put in the background, even though she's one of the main ghouls. But like nobody really thinks of her that much. And she's like super smart, and like she just is always like taken for granted by the other girls, and I just think that's really sad. But I just absolutely love her because she's like always saving the day, always figuring out what the problem is and how to fix it, and like it's always Ghoulia, and everybody just kind of takes that for granted. But anyway, I won't get on too much of a rant about that. We'll move on to number 11, which is Spectra Vondergeist. Now I absolutely love. I have to confess, her aesthetic probably went into this a lot because I just absolutely love her. She's just like, look at her purple hair, and it's so silky, and it's just like, it's just perfect. But I just absolutely love this character because although she's a ghost, obviously, and although she does like go around and listen in on rumors and report things that really aren't true. I mean, that is kind of a downside to her character, but I just love, like, she honestly is sweet, and she honestly does have the best intentions. She's just this kind of a little bit of an airhead. But she's just still super sweet, and there is a lot of character development, especially in the movie Haunted, because she kind of like learns her lesson and doesn't really post anything that isn't true or anything that's like disparaging, or if that's the right word, I think that is. Anything that is bad for people's reputations. And so she develops pretty well as a character. So the number 10, we are in the top 10s now. So number 10 is Meowlity. She's not out of her box yet because I just love the way they look. But she's the one that has like silvery white hair. And she is super cute, and she doesn't really have that much of a role. I'll talk more. Okay, so she was number 10. Number 9 is Persephone because I like the black hair a little bit more, and I like her outfit a little bit more. So they are 9 and 10, and I just love them because they always are like palling around with Toralei, and I love Toralei, but we'll get to her later. But they're the Werecat twins, and they don't really have a whole lot of development, but they're just always there. And like I just love how they like dress so much alike, and like I think they talk like once in the series, but I just think they're super cute. So number 8 is actually not even a doll. It is a book-only character, and that is Melody Carver. And she's the daughter of a siren, and she's like the main character in all of the books by... I'm blanking on her name right now. But the book series is it's really good. Like I love it. I've read it so many times. And Melody is the main character, and she's just the most relatable because she is like she's been adopted, and she doesn't really feel like she fits in anywhere, and all she wants to do is fit in and wants people to love her for who she is. And like how relatable is that? And I just absolutely love her. I identify with her the most of probably any of the characters, and I just really wish that like they would have put her in the actual like Monster High like doll franchise, because she's not even like mentioned in the webisodes or anything like that. She doesn't exist, and which I just find that really sad because I would love to have a Melody doll, but that's probably not going to happen. But number 7 is back to actually a doll, and that is Twyla. I just love her. This is the haunted version of Twyla, by the way. And she's just so cute. I love her. She's the daughter of the boogeyman, which I think in and of itself is just pretty cute. And I just love her because she's really shy and kind of overlooked. That's kind of the same with Ghoulia, but she's not one of the main ghouls. But she's just like, she's best friends with Howleen, and she doesn't have a lot of development, but what she does is just really, like, she's so relatable, and like she's just really laid back, and she's down to earth, and I just love that. Number 6 is, we're getting really high up on the list there to the characters that I just absolutely love, and that is Abby Abominable. She is just, she's so funny as a character. She's so blunt. She's the daughter of the Yeti, and so she has like a Himalayan kind of like accent, and she's just like, she's she says anything that comes to her mind, which can be kind of dangerous, but I just love that about her though, and she's got a lot of like street smarts. Like, she usually, with what I was saying before about Ghoulia, how she's always like figuring out all the problems and stuff, Abby's usually right there beside her and helping her. And we really get to see like the friendship between those two really like blossom throughout the series, which I think is pretty cool because, you know, I mean, but Abby gets a lot more recognition than Ghoulia, I feel like. But that's just my opinion. But anyway, now, top 5. So, number 5 is Miss Draculaura. She's kind of a stereotypical character because she's all like girly, and she's obsessed with, you know, like love, and she's really really like all about her friends and like relationships and stuff. But she's the daughter of Dracula. And she is just like, I love her fashion for one thing, because she's like all, it's like a girly goth kind of thing, which I love. And she's just like, she's such a sweetheart, and she's just kind of at the heart of Monster High. Like, Monster High wouldn't exist without her. Like, I said that before about Frankie, and I'll say it again about Draculaura. Like, it literally would not exist without her. And I just think she's such a sweetheart. She's funny, and yeah, that's just why she's so high up on this list. Then number 4 might be a little bit surprising because most people don't really like this character as well. But number 4 is Nephra Denial. And I know she's a villain, but she's just one of those characters you love to hate. And I don't know if I'd even go that far. Like, she's very likable for a villain. And like, for one thing, I just love her hair, which, you know, aesthetic probably did go into this decision just a little bit, but I just love her character. Like, she's hilarious, and she's so full of herself, which is usually annoying, but for some reason it works for that character. But number 3 is Nephra's sister, Cleo. Now, I just love her. At first in the series, she seems very like overbearing. Both of them, they're the daughters of the mummies. And she just seems very overbearing, very obsessed with herself, kind of rude actually. And so like, for a long time I didn't really like Cleo, but then as the series like progresses and stuff, you get to know, oh, you know, she's always been in her sister's shadow. She's, you know, she's a royal, and she's trying to be in charge of everything, but she ultimately has a heart of gold, and she really does care about her friends, which is always a very good characteristic to have, and I just love that, and that's why she's so high up. I also just like, I think she is one of the prettiest characters, and I just recently anyway have really started liking this character. Number 2 actually used to be my ultimate favorite, like at the beginning of Monster High, before I knew that my favorite existed, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But number 2 is Claudine Wolf, and I just love her. She is the daughter of the werewolf, obviously, and I just love like her fashion. She's so fierce, and like, she is all about her friends, and she will always stand up for what she believes in, which is just so like respectable, and so like just the best quality. And like, she just like, I love her aesthetic too, which obviously it went into it a little bit, but I just love this character. And she, from the very beginning, she was my favorite. I don't really know why. She was also the first doll I got, but that was because she was my favorite character. And I love her. Like, she will always be number 2. Like, she's just a very good character. Like, I don't know what else to say about her. I just love her because I love her. Like, I don't know how to even explain it, but yeah, she will always be very special to me. And then number 1, if you haven't been able to guess already, is Toralei Stripe. I just love her, and I know that a lot of people probably don't because she's also kind of a villain, but like she had a really hard past. Like you find that out in one of the webisodes. She was like abandoned as a little kitten, which is so cute. But she had it tough, and she had to be tough just to survive. And obviously that's not an excuse for the way she treats people in some of the webisodes, and obviously like I don't condone some of her behavior, but I just think like she's the bad girl, but she really has a soft side, and she really ultimately just wants to be accepted and ultimately just wants to be liked, but she's just too scared because of her background, and she just doesn't really know anything different because she always just had to be tough because she was on her own and fending for herself. And so she really doesn't know any different than what she is. And I love her because she's just always like, she always stuck out to me. And the second that I knew she existed, she just instantly became my favorite character. So I absolutely love Toralei, and I always will. She'll always be my favorite character. I don't see that ever changing. I mean, a lot of these characters on the list could kind of, flip flop back and forth. I mean, I made this list a couple weeks ago maybe, and I don't know, if you really like, I could analyze it and be like, oh wait, this character should go here, this character should go here, but Toralei will never change. She will always be my number one. And I just love her. But I love all the Monster High characters. I mean, I ranked 119 of them total, and I mean, there's a couple in there that I really don't like, which is why they're obviously like at the way bottom. But like all of the characters on this list are ones that I just absolutely love. They're just like the best of the best. But yeah, maybe someday I'll do the full ranking, but we'll see how things go. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed my video where I told you my top 25 Monster High characters. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more Monster High content. Bye guys!